Hi there. Today on Shift Happens, the perfect example of the manifesting process. I am your host, Vicki Lemper, and this is the Shift Happens channel, where we inspire growth and achieve greatness. If you're new to this channel, you want to awaken your power and create your future, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and tap the bell icon. If you'd like to work together, all the information is below in the description box. Manifestors, welcome back to the studios of Shift Happens. We're going to learn how to manifest without even trying. It's so easy. I'm going to tell you a little story that's going to illustrate how to manifest it in its simplest form. So often we make manifesting so hard that it's something completely outside of us when it's always within us. We just have to let it happen. So we're going to dig in a little deeper into this idea of understanding the process of manifesting and much, much more. So I was on my way to my brother's for Easter dinner. He lives in another city. I got a late start. And when I was just outside of my city, I looked at the clock and it read 10:50 a.m. Now I knew the trip normally takes an hour and a half to get to his house. And I thought, oh crap, I was going to be late. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to test this manifestation stuff out. I had been a little frustrated with the process, and I thought, what the heck, I'll give it one more try. So I set the intention that I would make it to my brother's at noon. That meant I would have to make the drive in an hour's time, which if you remember, it takes an hour and a half to get to his house. So not only that, I was going to set my cruise to 80 and keep it there. My car has that cruise that adjusts or slows down if you get too close to the car in front of you. And I decided I wasn't going to touch that cruise. I was going to set it, maintain it, and remain in the middle lane and not touch a thing. So I turned up the music, sang, enjoyed the scenery. I didn't give it much thought. And then about halfway there, I thought about looking at the time. I told myself, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to trust the process and see if this will really come to fruition, this whole manifestation thing. So again, turned up the tunes, back up, sang, not very well, and got lost in my thoughts. But in a good way, not really thinking about anything. I was super relaxed because remember I had the cruise control on. So my legs were relaxed, my whole body was relaxed. So as the trip progressed, I noticed the drivers were well behaved and I was quite enjoying myself. But then I got a little closer and to let you know, I don't drive to my brother's very often. So I knew where I was going, but I wasn't quite familiar and there was a little bit of construction. So things looked a little different. And I was on the interstate and then I had to turn down a highway. So I turned off that highway and onto a narrow 2-lane highway, which would take me to his house. However, the closer I got, the more anxious I became because my speed had slowed down because I wasn't sure when I was going to have to turn. But I felt myself tense and wanting to look at that time. I did increase my speed just a little, but I also, was still like, oh, I got to maintain this whole manifestation thing. So the miles kept racking up and I was still a little anxious, but then I thought, so what? So what if I'm a little late? They'll still be there. But I didn't give it much more than that. So I just kept driving, told myself, trust the process, believe the universe will deliver my intended desire. And then all of a sudden I arrived in his driveway. And I looked at my watch and it read, you guessed it, it read 11:57 a.m. I made the trip in less than an hour. Normally it takes an hour and a half. And remember, I kept the cruise on, stayed in the middle, and I didn't slow down. So I was really kind of going less than 80 miles per hour, somewhere about 75, 77. Pretty amazing. So this manifesting stuff really does work. So how does it really work? What are the steps? So I set the intention to arrive at his house by noon. I had an expectation that I was going to meet the goal. And then I let it go. I allowed the process to unfold. Sounds simple, and it is. But let's go a little bit deeper. Here's some key points I want you to think about. I didn't keep checking my speed or the time. In other words, I wasn't looking towards my outside circumstances for my progress. I trusted the intention. I knew that it was going to come to fruition. I knew the universe had my back. So I just relaxed and believed in the process. So I believed in the process as well. Now, so I believed that the pathway, the highway, was the way to get there, right? And I enjoyed the drive. I enjoyed the pathway. I listened to the music, enjoyed the scenery, right? joy's in the journey, right? So I let it go and I got off the subject and I continued to enjoy my destiny or my journey, right? I didn't question it. I was close to allowing doubt to creep in, but I again did not check my watch or my destination time. So I was close on the road right before my destination. I began to panic, right? I questioned it. If I was on the correct road, maybe I should check the time to know if I should speed up. I questioned a little bit. And that's going to happen. But I didn't allow myself to check the circumstances. I kept the path. I believed in knowing that that I would arrive right on time. So when you refrain from checking the circumstances, what does that really do? If you start checking your circumstances to give you validation, that's when resistance comes in. You know, I knew that if I looked at, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. Now all of a sudden I have to speed up. And if I looked at and then all of a sudden you introduce that resistance, you get anxious, you start looking at other drivers. Oh my gosh, they're in my way. They're terrible. I'll start going fast, slow. And then I wouldn't ever take responsibility for my part in it, right? I'd be blaming everybody else. So I went back to, I didn't try. I allowed and I trusted. I had faith that my intention was going to be met with fulfillment. And so that's what it takes. It's just letting it go and allowing. Today, right now, you have the power to manifest with ease. So let go and let the process take care of itself. The perfect example of manifesting the process. I am your host, Vicki Lemper, and this is The Shift Happens, where we inspire growth and achieve greatness. Manifestors, thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting on the videos. That's how we get our message out. So with great love, peace, and joy, and infinite gratitude, this is Vicki Lemper, and this is The Shift Happens channel. I'll see you next time.